Welcome to the Brickie Experience podcast. We're so glad to have you today. And today, I am welcoming a very distinguished alumni, which happens to be Isaiah Gransberry. Thanks for joining us today, Isaiah. He's a distinguished alumni of Hobart High School, and he has a great story to tell. And I'm so glad that you're my guest today. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So, Isaiah, you know our mantra, our motto, all my life I want to be a Brickie, work, work, work. What's that mean to you?
It means a lot. The Hobart community is just astounding, and like you can see just from the alumni that come before me that's just what we live by. And so it's easy to continue on that tradition just from seeing the people that have come before us.
Right. So it is a great tradition to work hard. And then you see the end results and what people go on to do in their lives. And you are a perfect example of what I want to talk to today with our audience. And if you're a Brickie out there, you're going to love this story because it's discovering your gifts and talents. And those gifts and talents lead to success. And so we're going to take you on a little journey here with Isaiah. All right, so Isaiah, let's start off with, you are that Hobart High School graduate. What year did you graduate?
Yep, that's me. I graduated here from Hobart High School in 2016.
2016, there you go. All right, so now we're going to take you through his career and what he's actually doing right now. So let's talk to the audience about your career. What do you do for a living?
So currently I work at Urshel Laboratories as a video specialist, and I've been doing that for the last 2.5 years. And on the side, I do media work, and we'll get to that later on in the show, but it all goes hand in hand, and so that's what I do for a living.
All right, so let's take a look at you as the professional that you are. What would this pose right here? Tell us about what you're doing here.
So this is just myself marketing myself. You know, that's one of the things that I actually learned here from Ms. Torres is you got to market yourself and to give yourself the best opportunity. So that's my professional shot. I use it reaching out to people if I ever feel like that my skill set can help them or, you know, just in general. So that's my LinkedIn headshot as well. So
there you go. All right. So you're marketing yourself. You work at Urshel, but we're going to go into, you also have some entrepreneurial type things that you do with your chosen career. So let's go on to describe what this shoot is about. We have 2 images on screen. Talk to us a little bit about your background and what led you to these positions.
And so right there on the left was actually in 2020 when Hobart High School made it to the state championship game. And that was my come-to-life moment on, wow, I'm really on the path that I want to be on. I was down there representing Region Sports Network as a official IHSAA sports media guy. And so had the opportunity of not only shooting Hobart that year, but all the other teams in state and capturing content to distribute for the IHSAA and Region Sports Network. So it was a really cool opportunity. And then on the right was a podcast.
Yeah, let's go back to that one. And what is that particular shot there?
It was a podcast that myself and a couple other Hobart grads had started up during the pandemic. We had actually myself and Jordan Shantos, I have to mention his name, we spearheaded the efforts to turn a print newspaper into a digital endeavor.
That is just terrific. I remember seeing you down at the state championship and thinking to myself, here's one of our students that is actually covering for a news media outlet us down at state. And I just am so proud of you. I know all of us are proud of you. So thank you for sharing that moment. We had to make sure that we were able to show that to our students. So talk to us about your work, and do you love it?
Yes, I love it. My day to day is just a dream come true. At Urshel, I'm helping build the content library for our applications. We create manufacturing equipment for food cutting material, food cutting machinery, and so our biggest the best way that I explain it is that we cut food products. So you go to a grocery store, about 90% of those products will be cut off our Urshel machine, and like Frito Lay, Louisiana hot sauce are just a few that come to mind, but like almond milk and anything you could think of. And so
That's pretty cool. So, does it feel like work when you're going in every day?
no, it doesn't. And it's actually given me an opportunity to travel the world as well. And so it's a really cool job to have, and it's pretty unique that the global headquarters is here in Indiana.
That is, it's really fascinating. And then, of course, you have all these entrepreneurial type of things that you do on the side with your talents. So, when you're using your gifts and talents, how did you get to this place in life? So, you're in high school or even middle school. Could you talk to the Brickies a little bit about, did you always want to do this for a career? How did you arrive at this?
So in high school, I was actually at the point where, I was just like many other high school kids, I want to be a professional sports player. And then once that reality started setting in, then I'm like, okay, well, what am I good at? And fortunately, with Hobart University, the dual credit program that I was a part of back then, it allowed me to try out different things early on. And the different electives I tried out, from the arts to the sciences and all that stuff. And I've just fell in love with media. And two of the classes that come to mind is Mrs. Roach's marketing class and Mr. Crouch's video class. Those were like classes that I knew once I took those classes, and as much as I enjoyed them, and it was just like, okay, this is it.
All right. So basically, you were trial and error in taking elective classes while you were in high school. When did you have that aha moment that I'm really good at this?
And I think that aha moment came probably when, we started in Mr. Crouch's class covering the news and doing non-linear editing. And I was just like, wow, this just comes so natural to me. And so that was that moment. And then the confirmation of that was in Mrs. Roach's class as well, going through the different lessons, and then her convincing me to join DECA as well. Those were the moments that were like, wow, this is really a career that I would enjoy pursuing if the opportunity presented. So
Right. So, so you really discovered you had a gift and talent for this, and then you have to pursue higher education. You had some dual credit classes, early college classes under your belt. And so, how did you pursue getting a degree? Where did you go? What was the opportunities in front of you?
So I graduated from Hobart with 12 college credits, and from then I went to Benedictine University in Lisle, Illinois. I had the opportunity to major in communication arts there, and from then, since I basically took
Okay. So I'm gonna pause you there because I want to throw this on screen because it's important for people to know that you also had some athletic capabilities. And so you had the dream of possibly, being a professional basketball player because that was your love. But you also said, I got to have plan B here.
Yep.
And you end up pursuing. And so talk a little bit about college, what your athletic pursuits were, and what arrived you where you are today.
So I was fortunate that we had some great coaches here that really helped get my name out there, and eventually fell along with Benedictine because of its proximity and the relationship I had with the coaches visiting me in school. And so I received an academic scholarship to go to school there and play football and basketball. And so it was a dream come true because, as I mentioned before, I wasn't sure if I would be able to play at the next level. I had some injuries and stuff like that along the way. And so it was a great experience to be able to do both at the college level.
All right. So now that we know that you harnessed all of this talent and you're in college, and then all of a sudden the pandemic hits.
Yep.
And so I want to take people back to this beautiful shot that you're marketing yourself, and then the pandemic hits. And I want you to tell the audience what an important role that your early college played and how that shaped what was going to happen in your college career that led to your future career. So let's have you share that story.
So when I graduated college, it was the pandemic that was like the tail end. You know, we didn't even get to finish our basketball season, and they were telling us that we were probably going to have to go home and all that stuff. And fortunately, because of my early college classes in high school, I was already ahead of the game. So my junior and senior year, I was actually half of my schedule my senior year, part of my schedule my junior year, working as a class in college. And so my senior year had the great opportunity from John Harris at A5 Branding and Digital to work downtown Chicago for their firm. And he was gracious enough once the pandemic hit to allow me to continue to work remote, which was an amazing opportunity, and I couldn't thank him enough.
That is such an incredible story. And I want students to realize when you're getting 1 year, 2 year of college and it goes under your belt and it allows you opportunities to be farther ahead. And then look what it did for you when everybody was shut down. You were basically able to finish your internships and you had a skill that allowed you to work remote. And so that is just really wonderful. So proud of you.
Okay.
So how can students that are out here watching this develop their talents once they identify them? What would you say to them?
Well, to develop the talents after you identify them, you need to first identify them through trial and error. And then once you do, because not everything's going to work. You know, we talked earlier about the electives that I tried out just to try them out, just being curious. But then once I did find it, then I practiced. You know, just like sports, you practice to make perfect. That's me in my career right now. You know, I work a full-time job that I love. I plan to have a long career there. But then on the side, you know, I'm also practicing myself to become better and do more things and expand my arsenal.
I really love that you're giving that type of advice because what I see in that, you know, technology changes all the time. And I'm sure you're trying to stay hyper focused on how do I bring my best game to the profession that I'm in. And really, when I think about technology, how rapidly it changes, you really have to stay on top of what you do. And I think that makes you, again, people seek you because you're hardworking and you have talent, right? And that was one of the things that we kind of talked about prior to the podcast showing, because obviously I'm always proud of our graduates. I think it's an interesting thing to talk to kids about, that when people see you work hard, they see a gift and a talent, you can market yourself like you did, right? But people will start coming after you. And I think that that's something that's really fascinating about your story, that people pursue you because they see that talent that you have, that you work so hard at. What advice would you give to our Brickie students that are out there watching the Brickie Experience on how to pursue happiness in life by using your gifts and talents?
Pursuing happiness in life by using gifts and talents, you have to identify that gift, as we just talked about, but then also you have to put yourself out there. You have to give yourself the opportunity to be seen doing your gifts and talents. And so, perfect example with me was, you know, I did the podcast, and you know, we did that. I used that on my resume. I used that on stuff that trying to gain more clients, because even though it might have been a small project for me, you know, a small endeavor, other people that might spark an idea for a business owner or something, and then next thing you know, you have a job. And so that, I think if you're pursuing happiness, you gotta just stay creative, stay cutting edge, and just keep moving forward, but show your passion through that and continue to move.
I love that. I mean, I do have to go back to this screen. Let's go to this one right here, where you basically took this newspaper and you made it digital. And I love that you said it boomed.
Yeah.
You had no idea that it would boom. And so once again, you're showing that creative side. And, you know, all of our students have portfolios. And how important do you think putting evidence in that portfolio of your abilities and capabilities in your projects? Could you speak a little bit about that?
So, and I have to go right back to Mrs. Torres because she is doing an excellent job here with the career readiness program. And so
Mm-hmm.
I was fortunate to be one of her first classes. And, I used to always think that portfolio meant professional work and that you needed to have professional experience to put it on a portfolio. But the older I got, the more that I've learned, the more people that I've met, I've realized that professional is anything related to what you want to do. And so,
Mm-hmm.
for me, it was the podcast. And for me, it was, taking pictures of my friends and stuff and taking videos of my friends and building a YouTube channel and stuff like that. And so, all of that stuff, it shows that I'm putting in effort, I'm practicing on the side, and that looks good to employers. And so, building that portfolio, it's really easier than a lot of us think. You take what you like doing, and you spiffy it up a little bit, obviously, make it look nice, and put it out there. You never know who's going to be attracted to it.
That's true. And so here you start building this background with us. You have this gift and talent. You pursue it in college. You have a very important career with Urshel. And then your side hustling, your other entrepreneurial side that just keeps you honed in on perfecting your skills to sell to other clients. And you're just such a great example of using all of your resources that are available to you to have a great career. And I'm so proud of you, as all of the other people are in Hobart. And we want to thank you for joining us on the Brickie Experience, because I think this tells kids a lot about your story. Of course, you wanted to play basketball, and you were able to play it at a division level. But and the more important thing is that you knew that you could pursue a talent that you had besides basketball. And so thank you for coming and sharing our story with us. You too can have success just like Isaiah. You can do trial and error like he did and find a true gift and talent that you want to pursue. And there's so many opportunities by Hobart University, as you were explaining. And if you have hard work, people will notice that hard work and have some evidence in your portfolio. Thank you for joining us today on the Brickie Experience. And thank you, Isaiah. You are a great guest to have. And we'll see you next time on the Brickie Experience. Thanks for joining. See you next time.